This is the largest Buddhist temple in the world. It stands like a giant puzzle, composed of 2 million blocks of volcanic stone, sculpted in such a way so as to interlock with each other. Borobudur Temple, like building the Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt, is the difference. Borobudur has abundant staircase pattern. Borobudur Temple is the largest Buddhist monument in the world. Built during King Samaratunga of Wangsa dynasty in 824, Borobudur was built 300 years before Angkor Wat in Cambodia, and 400 years before the great cathedrals of Europe. Borobudur has an area of 123 x 123 square meters with 504 Buddha statues, stupas overlay 72 and one main stupa. Gupta Baroque architecture formed this temple that reflects the influence of India. After a visit here you will understand why Borobudur has appeal for visitors and an icon of Indonesia's cultural heritage. International agencies of the United Nations recognizes as well that UNESCO praised the Borobudur Temple as one of the largest Buddhist monument in the world. In this temple there are 2,672 relief panels that, when arranged in rows, the length reaches 6 kilometers. Ensemble relief is the most complete in the world and incomparable artistic value, and each scene is a complete masterpiece. Since the middle of the 9th century until the early 11th century, Borobudur became a Buddhist pilgrim from China, India, Tibet, and Cambodia. Borobudur became one of the most important historical traces in the development of human civilization. Pomp and grandeur of Borobudur temple architecture is marvelous world treasure and priceless. Borobudur consists of 1460 relief panels and 504 stupas, but actually there are 160 panels are intentionally dumped at the very bottom, contains scenes silk karma wabanga causation. There is also stating that the accumulation of the lower part to strengthen the foundations early on found has been severely damaged. Borobudur was built for 75 years under the leadership of architect Ganadharma with 60,000 cubic meters of volcanic rock from Melo and Progo River, located about 2 kilometers east of the temple. At that time not yet known, and the metric system unit of length used to build the temple of Borobudur. There is a tuning calculated by spreading the thumb and middle finger, or measure the length of hair from the forehead to the base of the chin, based on the inscriptions Karang Tangga and Kahulunan. Historian J. G. de Casparis estimates Borobudur is the founder of the ancient Mataram kings of the Salendra dynasty, named Samaratunga, and building this temple around 824 AD. The huge building will be completed at the time of her daughter, Queen Pramudawardhani. Borobudur construction is expected to take half a century. Initially, the temple was thought to be a place of worship. J. G. de Casparis estimates that Bhumi Sambarabudara in Sanskrit means hill set 10 levels. Bodhisattva virtue is the original name of Borobudur. Most historians also stating that the name of Borobudur comes from the Sanskrit is Vihara Buddha, or meaning Buddhist monastery on the mount. The temple is located in central Java, on a hilltop overlooking lush rice fields in the hills. Tenuous coverage area is very large, measuring 123 by 123 meters. Borobudur turns built on an ancient lake. In the past, the region is the estuary of the various streams, because the deposition of lava buried later become plains. At the end of the 8th century, King Samaratunga of Wangsa dynasty then built Borobudur, led by architect named Ganadharma Hinga. Completion of year 746 Saka, or 824 AD. Borobudur temple building area of 15,129 square meters, which is composed of 55,000 cubic meters of stone, consists of 2 million pieces of rocks, the average stone size of 25 by 10 x 15 centimeters. Long pieces of rock as a whole of 500 kilometers, with a total weight of 1.3 million tons of rock. The walls of the Borobudur temple surrounded by pictures or reliefs, which is a series of stories that Terusasan in the 1460 panel. The length of each panel 2 meters. So if a series of reliefs that unfolded then more or less long relief totaled 3 kilometers, the temple has 10 levels, where the rate of 1 to 6 square, while the rate of 7 to 10 round. Statues located around the temple buildings totaling 504 units. Meanwhile, the temple high above the ground until the end of the main stupa was 42 meters. 34.5 meters, but now lives after being struck by lightning. The top level to 10 contained a large stupa diameter 9.90 meters, with a height of 7 meters. Architecture and building. Stone temple is truly incomparable. This temple was built without using cement. The structure as a whole row of Lego, mutually reinforced and made simultaneously without the slightest glue. Sir Thomas Stanford Raffles found in 1814 Borobudur in damaged condition and ordered that the site be cleaned and studied thoroughly. Borobudur existence was already known locals in the 18th century, where previously buried material of Mount Merapi. Borobudur restoration project on a large scale, and then starting from 1905 until 1910, with the help of UNESCO, the second restoration to rescue Borobudur was carried out from August 1913 until 1983. The temple has remained strong even during the 10 centuries unkempt. In the 1970s, the Indonesian government and UNESCO worked together to restore the grandeur of Borobudur. Improvements made take 8 years to complete, and today Borobudur is one of the wonders and treasures precious Indonesia and the world. Various sciences involved in the reconstruction effort conducted by the Borobudur Temple Tiad Horace van Erp in 1911, Professor Dr. C. Cormans 1956, and Professor I.R. Rusino 1971. We should appreciate their efforts to lead the restoration of the temple in view of the constraints and difficulties faced. Not easy. 1991 Finally, Borobudur designated as World Heritage by UNESCO. Borobudur Temple is decorated with carvings on the stone reliefs, representing an overview of the life of Buddha. Archaeologists claim that the Temple of Borobudur has 1,460 series of reliefs along the walls and platforms. Relief is the most complete and largest in the world, so incomparable artistic value. Reading of the stories. These reliefs always begins and ends on the east side of the gate in each level. The story begins from the left and ends on the right gate. This monument is a holy place in the Buddhist pilgrimage. 10 levels of the temple symbolize the 3 divisions of the Buddhist cosmic system. When you start the journey, they pass through the temple grounds to get to the top. They will pass through 3 levels of cosmology. Buddhist and is essentially a clone of the universe according to Buddhist teachings, consists of 3 major parts, namely 1. Kamadhatu or world of desire, 2. Rupadhatu or shaped world, and 3. Arupadhatu or formless world. The entire monument itself resembles a giant stupa, but seen from above form a mandala. Great stupa at the top of the temple is located 40 meters above the ground. The main dome is surrounded by 72 Buddha statue inside perforated stupa.
Bayar biaya rumah sakit. Orang miskin dilarang pintar. Cukup macam nulis hati sing sabar.